Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Heidel, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And I am here tonight on Monday. I know I didn't announce it, but I'm just trying to do these lives when I can do them. So if you are just watching for the first time, welcome. And if you are returning and you've been watching for a while, that's awesome too. And if you see me looking up and down, that's because I am operating two cameras. I am also co-recording for YouTube and also live on Facebook. So welcome to Monday Night Live. And happy Martin Luther King Day. I'm recording on January 16th, 2023. And if you are just joining, go ahead and post below your astrological sign. You know, I love to hear that, where you're viewing from, and just go ahead and say hi. We have a lot of planetary energy this week, and I feel like I'm always saying that, but last week was actually kind of quietish, sorta, kinda. It was very sad. We had the passing of Lisa Marie Presley last week. And that was on the same day that Mars went direct. It was on the 12th. So we had, I believe that was the 12th, on the day of the Mars direct in Gemini. So, hey, Lori, welcome. Aquarian, Kirsten, Capricorn. Oh, it's your birthday today. It's your birthday. Welcome. And go ahead and post below, put your astrological sign. I love to hear from where you're tuning in from. We have a lot of energy to go over this week. We have Mercury is turning direct. Finally, I know it feels like we're always dealing with Mercury retrograde, but I assure you it's only 3 weeks, 3 times a year usually, although in 2022 we had 2 extra days of it. I'm just gonna get my little cheat sheet that I had written out here. And yeah, so we have Mercury turning direct this week. We have Aquarius season starting, and that's going to be starting on Friday the 20th. So we have Mercury direct is on the 18th. The Aquarius season starting on the 20th. Wendy, hey, Scorpio, welcome. We have a new moon, yay! So we are going to be having, and it's a super new moon, and it's going to be taking place in the astrological sign of Aquarius, because we just had Aquarius season start on the day before, on Friday. On Saturday is going to be the new moon in Aquarius. So we're going to get right down to having some new intentions in the astrological sign of Aquarius. And then also I have more good news, is that Uranus is turning direct as well. So Mercury is turning direct and Uranus is turning direct, which means Mercury retrograde is over and Uranus retrograde is over as well. So welcome, Kirsten from Vermont, Sagittarius. Welcome. Happy birthday, Kirsten. Rita said, yay. Welcome from Colorado. And so, yeah, we have a lot of energies to go over. So I'm just going to dive right into it. And really the big news starts on Wednesday. So this Wednesday we have Mercury turning direct in the astrological sign of Capricorn. Now, Mercury retrograde has been retrograde all the way, like I alluded to before, in the end of December 29th of 2022. 2022 was rather odd and sort of unusual in the fact that we had 3.2 maybe retrogrades. In other words, we had the 3, which we always have three retrogrades of Mercury 3 times a year for 3 weeks. So if you can't, you got to remember that 333, right? Eve, oh, blessings from Nova Scotia, Canada. Welcome. We have an international audience. I love it. Brian, oh, your birthday's today too. We have 2 birthdays today. That's awesome. Andrea, okay, Aries in Vermont, welcome. Wendy from Vermont, yes. Oh, thank you. Kristen said she loved the color on me. Thank you very much. I was very undecided on what I wanted to wear tonight, but this kind of fit the bill. And so we have Mercury going direct now. It's going to go direct on Wednesday, January 18th, 2023, in the astrological sign of Capricorn. That's going to be 8 8:12 a.m. Eastern time. So earlier than that, if you live out on the West Coast or other time zones, Eastern time, 8:12 a.m. And so yay, Wednesday. Now, you know what I always tell you guys. Just because it stops on that day, give it a minute, because it's like a car. It doesn't just slam in reverse and slam forward. It has to like slow down. It goes backwards, it stops, and then it pauses. That's what we call stationary retrograde, where stationary direct, I'm sorry, when it's turning direct, it stops for a moment and then it goes forward. Okay, so just give it some time, okay? But at least we get going in the right direction of 8:12 a.m. on the 18th, and so that'll be a good thing. And so this Mercury retrograde, I think, was a little harsh for people. I don't know if anybody out there has experienced that this Mercury retrograde was a little bit harsh. It was in the astrological sign of Capricorn. We are still technically in Capricorn season all the way until this Friday, and then it changes into Aquarius season. But Capricorn season means that the sun, and plus usually other planets, Mercury and Venus usually are pretty close to wherever the sun is. So we have usually like a little cluster of planets that are traveling along, typically. Doesn't mean it has to be in the same sign, but typically they're close to the sun at least. So we're in the season of Capricorn. So it's goal setting and planning and strategizing. And a lot of us started doing that, and we wanted to do that at the end of 2022, right? Because that's like the normal time, right? You set your New Year's resolution or your intention for the year or goals or whatever you are working on. But this particular time, we had Mars retrograde, which ended last week, and then Mercury retrograde, which is ending this week. And it was like we started on it was like a false start. It was kind of like, like it was a little bit hard to get going, especially Mars retrograde is hard to get momentum going, but that is changing. We are changing the retrogradness, and then I'm going to talk about Uranus retrograde in a second, but good news. We have almost no retrogrades, almost until April. Ceres, which is a dwarf planet, she is going to go retrograde, but she's considered to be a minor planet, not a major planet. So when we talk about major planets, there's no retrogrades until almost April. That's a very unusual and rare sort of thing. Usually, like, there might be 2 or 3 weeks out of the whole year where there's no retrograde planets. Well, now we have a whole stretch, like, of almost 3 months where there's not going to be any retrograde. So that'll be good. I think we are done with some of this retrogradeness. I know I am. It's been a little interesting, we'll just say. So we have Mars going direct on Wednesday. Now, there's a catch. With astrology, there's always some kind of a catch. The catch is on Wednesday. So you might be like, yay, Wednesday's going to be an amazing day. Well, hold on. I alluded to this last week, and I said this in my broadcast last week. We have the sun forming on conjunction with Pluto on Wednesday. The peak of it is going to be at 9:44 a.m. Eastern time. Okay, so earlier than that, if you're on the West Coast, like 6:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's taking place in Capricorn, almost at the end of Capricorn. I think it's like 27 or 28 degrees Capricorn. The sun conjunct Pluto. Pluto is death, rebirth, transformation, phoenix rising. It's like Hades, the lord of the underworld. Okay, whenever Pluto is highlighted, and this only happens once a year, and unfortunately it's right on the day that Mercury goes direct. So even though it should be an amazing day, yay, Mercury's going direct, this sun conjunct Pluto is difficult. You are talking about power struggles and all kinds of, it can be violence, it can be nuclear. I don't know. I try not to, you guys know me, I try not to watch any news. I don't like to, but I saw some kind of thing come across. There was some nuclear activity talking about things. I don't know. I am trying to block that out. Cancel, clear. But that is terrorism. It's like all kinds of stuff. Now, thank goodness it's only once a year. And unfortunately, because Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2007, this once a year Sun conjunct Pluto has been taking place in January or during Capricorn season during this whole since 2007. So we've had this like ouchy kind of energy in January, you know, that's been kind of going on. Now in March, Pluto is going to actually leave Capricorn, like I said, for the first time since 2007. So in March, it's going to actually go into Aquarius, and then it'll be Pluto conjunct the Sun conjunct Pluto in Aquarius season. So that'll be starting you know, next year. But this year we still have Pluto in Capricorn season, the Sun conjunct Pluto, and it's harsh. There's two like sort of sticky points out of the year with the Sun either forming an opposition with Pluto or a conjunction with Pluto. Conjunction means right on top of Pluto, and that's in Capricorn season because Pluto's in Capricorn, or it's in Cancer season when the Sun opposes Pluto. Now, that's very often a time of school shootings and bombings and terrorism and just increased violence, and it seems like everybody gets just, you know, riled up. So you'll want to watch. How does this pertain to you? Now, you know what I always say, it's like the three-legged table, right? So if a table only has three legs, if you put a lot of weight and pressure and books and stuff on top of the three-legged table, it can go down. So if you talk about mental health, or mental illness or anxiety or depression or even addiction, you know, any kind of thing like that, this Pluto energy, Plutonic energy can be very harsh and very stressful. So you want to, so when you think about it being Wednesday, the peak of it's Wednesday, 9:44 a.m. Eastern time, you want to look at it as it's climbing up the mountain. So we're technically in the conjunction right now on Monday. I mean, you know, it's just that the peak is on Wednesday. So it's like we're kind of like we're heading up the mountain. We get to the top and then it comes and releases. And so this Mercury turning direct should be a good thing, and it is a good thing. It's just that we have this background sort of noise going on with this, like, we're going to see dictators acting up and leaders acting up and people, you know, power struggles. So there can be power dynamics within your, you know, your life too, whether it be with a boss or a child or even our animals, like, respond to these things. So when we think about this stuff, it's really something that we have to, you know, kind of think about. Now, when we think about death and rebirth and transformation in Phoenix rising, can it be good? Can it be a good transformation? I mean, yeah, I guess, you know, I mean, but usually with Pluto, something dies before something new is born. So if you think of like a butterfly, you know, it's like kind of goes in through that process. Now the butterfly didn't die, but there is this like really like kind of intense process that the butterfly has to go through while it's a caterpillar and then turns into that butterfly. So I don't know. It's, you know, trying to paint that one in a very positive picture is a little hard to do. It's a stretch because remember, Pluto is the lord of the underworld, and that can bring out subconscious patterns and trigger city. You know, if you think of trigger, people triggering us and sort of, you know, all that kind of stuff, because it's our shadow side. It's our sort of darker side. It's our hidden side. So we can be confronted with our shadow side. And we think of Capricorn, it's work, it's goals, it's planning, it's like all the stuff. So we'll be feeling intense. We will. And it's just going to be normal. I like to say these things so that you're not like hitting Wednesday going, God, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with my partner. I don't know what's wrong with my boss or whatever. You know, everything kind of, you know, is yucky. Well, that's something that you want to keep in mind because everybody's kind of contentious. So this is not the time to have the big debate about politics or religion or, you know, some kind of hot topic, or demanding that your partner live with you or marry you, or, you know, like, we don't want to do any kind of thing like that, because the dark side, the shadow side with Pluto is so big. You know, Pluto is very you know, just big and powerful. So when we think of Pluto always has a dark, you know, the lord of the underworld is dark, you know? So it's like we have to kind of think about that. So we want to make sure that we are planning accordingly to those things. Somebody said they're having a skin check. Well, that's okay. I mean, you know, it's interesting. Capricorn is skin, knees, teeth, and the skeleton system. So think teeth and bones, and the skin too. Skeleton and skin, it's two big things in Capricorn. So just is what it is. Oh no. Oh, Kate said, hey, Pisces in Vermont. Big job interview on Wednesday. Do your best. Do your best. Sarah Aquarius from Massachusetts. Welcome. Yes, Wendy, you caught me live. Aquarius in Vermont. Welcome. Oh no. Oh geez, your big stalker's getting, yikes. Okay, well, we'll say good prayers for you, Wendy. Okay, big prayers. Kelly said Pluto is on your north node. Oh gosh, that's rough. That is rough. Yeah, Kelly, so whenever Pluto is anywhere, because Pluto is so far out, it takes years, you know, even for it to go into Aquarius, to fully like go in the process, it's going to go, you know, because it goes forward, it goes retrograde, it goes forward, it goes retrograde. It's retrograde for almost half the year. It'll take 2 years, you know, so it's starting that process this year, but it won't end the process until 2024, where then it'll fully be into Aquarius by then. But it takes a long time for it to go anywhere. But we are going to have Pluto going into Aquarius, and it's going to be, you know, interesting. So that's happening on Wednesday. Now, on the 20th, we have the beginning of Aquarius season, speaking of Aquarius, and then I'm going to also talk about because there's really it's really a two-part thing. There's Aquarius season starting, and then there's the new moon in Aquarius the very next day. So I'll give you the breakdown. When Aquarius season starts, it means the sun is going into the astrological sign of Aquarius, and that is at 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. So 12:30 a.m. if you're out on the West Coast. And hey, everybody, if you see me looking up and down, it's because I'm co-recording for YouTube as well, because I always post these on YouTube. And if you haven't liked my channel yet, please go over, because I'm going to start, my intention for 2023 is to start publishing content that's specifically for YouTube. So I'm going to do these lives on Facebook, but I'm also going to do YouTube specific content. So you want to make sure you're subscribed to both Facebook and YouTube. And I'm also on TikTok and Instagram as well. Okay, so back to the program here. We have double Aquarian energy, big time Aquarian energy. So the sun goes into Aquarius on the 20th at 3:30 a.m. Eastern time. And then the next day, the day after, we're going to have the new moon in Aquarius. And that new moon is going to be a super moon. Okay, so it is at 3:53 p.m. Eastern time. So 12:53 p.m. if you're out on the West Coast for the new moon, and that's on the 21st, January 21st, 2023. Yay! This is our first new moon of 2023, and it's a super new moon, meaning it's the closest to the Earth. So even though we can't see that doesn't matter. The gravitational pull is going to be bigger, and it's going to feel like it's close. Now, on that day, the moon is going to be forming, it'll be 1 degree Aquarius. So because the sun and Pluto are 28 degrees roughly, I think, I don't have my book with me. I think last time I checked, it's 28 degrees Capricorn. That's considered to be that's a conjunction with this sun Pluto stuff. Okay. But it's in a different sign. So some astrologers, even though that's a conjunction, a lot of astrologers feel that when it's conjunct, but it's technically 2 different signs, even though they're very, very close, they're like next door neighbors that are like maybe living in Boston or New York City or something, where they're like so close with each other, they're still different. So even though that's a conjunction with the sun, Pluto, even though that the moon, the sun and Pluto are all going to be squished together, it's like the sun and Pluto are here, and then the new moon is here. So we will feel this conjunction. It's going to be, though, a beautiful conjunction, because there's new moon, because also there's going to be a sextile with Jupiter coming as well on that same day. Now, I want to give you guys a background of what's kind of going on. In my last broadcast, I said that in 2023, there's not really like these big, the last, like since the end of 2019, 2020, 2021, there's been these big astrological transits that have been happening that literally are kind of like transits that are responsible for completely changing history. I mean, like I even called that one in 2020 like history in the making, because it's like so big and so powerful. We are just in the very baby beginning stages of coming out of that time frame. And thank you for all the likes. I really appreciate it. And by the way, if you guys have a friend, tag them in the comments and to let them know that I am on here and that this is big stuff. So we are not having that this year. This is the first year in a couple of years, or 2 or 3 years, that we're not having these big, we're still having some energy, because there's never a year without energy. Come on, like that's not even realistic. We have energy for sure, but it's not like this, like stuff that like happened during World War II and like all these like things that were just really contentious and hard to deal with. Our one thing that we do have that is going to be kind of hard to deal with is that in May, Jupiter is going to form a square with Pluto. Now, it's not a conjunction with Pluto like it was in 2020. It's a square. So it has a little less energy. It's still powerful. I mean, that Jupiter square Pluto thing is powerful, but it's not going to be active for like 3 years like these other ones were active like for several years. This is, we're starting to feel it already, even though it's May, that transit is going to be peaking. And I'll give you the exact date so you guys know, not to plan any really big, crazy things around this date. May 17th, Jupiter is going to be square Pluto. May 17th. So 2023, we're already feeling it now. So what happens is that and I'll give the reason why I'm talking about this is because on Saturday, there's a new moon. Yay. That's great. And it's going to actually highlight Jupiter and Pluto on that day. So see, they're already getting close enough that the moon is activating them, and the sun will activate them, and the other planets will activate them. So we're already starting to feel the little precursor details of that, the little precursor energy of it even now. So even though that's peaking on May, we're going to be starting to feel it. So and then we will have a better transit with Jupiter at the end of the year, which I'll talk about that as we get closer to it, which is going to be a nice thing. Almir said, "Yay for my birthday." Sorry, yes, it's in Taurus season, so sorry about that. I'm not the one that plans these things. I trust me, I would plan things way differently. But anyway, the moon is going to be a new moon in Aquarius. So Aquarius season. Okay, yay. So if you guys are Aquariuses, if any of you, I saw a couple people on the broadcast tonight that's Aquarius season. It's coming up to your birthday, so that'll be cool. Aquarius sign is a fixed sign. It's an air sign. It's a very social sign. It's a sign that is geared towards helping humanity, helping leave the world a better place. Like, how can we help our community? How can we do things that sort of change the world, Today, the day of the recording, is MLK Day, otherwise known as Martin Luther King Day. And Martin Luther King actually had some Aquarius in his chart. He was actually a Capricorn because his birthday was January 15th. But he had, I believe, 1 or 2 or 3 maybe planets in Aquarius the last time I looked at his chart. And that combination of Capricorn and Aquarius, I see a lot of people like Abraham Lincoln, Rosa Parks, like people that changed history You know, like if you think about that, Capricorn gets things done, you know, and this Aquarius energy wants to make the world a better place. And that's a beautiful combination of those two signs when they come together. And Aquarians themselves, you know, there's a lot of people that really change how we think. A lot of inventors were Aquarians in history, and people who like change how we think, like Oprah Winfrey or Ellen DeGeneres, you know, if you think about even, you know, in that sort of way. Now, Aquarius is known for being a little bit, you know, quirky and unique and different, and even like a little eccentric. There's a lot of like Aquarians that are known for being a little bit eccentric, but, you know, usually it's a beautiful energy, and it's you know, you have to be kind of a little quirky if you're going to invent new things, because you have to be able to have this visionary view of the world and be able to see things in a different way. And so that's what Aquarius is about. I have nicknamed Aquarius the rebels, or the revolutionary folks that are here to really get us to think, be innovative, and think outside the box and all that. So wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, and I assure you, every single person has Aquarius in their chart, it's good to know, where is your revolutionary energy? Where are you meant to shake things up, do things differently, be unique, be outside the box? Everybody has a little side to them that is quirky and different, and that's your Aquarius side. So if you know what house that's in your astrological chart, you'll know how that sort of comes out within you. And of course, if you have planets there, your moon there, Venus there, Mars, whatever, then that's gonna all, you know, be extra. That's gonna you're gonna get an extra bonus in that department. I myself have some Aquarius in my chart, and you know, I think it's a beautiful sign that, like, again, here to make the world a better place. I hope to make the world a better place in my quirky, unique, different way of doing these videos and doing my sessions, my private readings. And, you know, I feel like it's my way that I help the world, but I also donate money, donate my time, do different things. That's a very Aquarius sort of way of, my love language is Aquarius, because I have Venus in Aquarius too. So I like to be a little different, outside the box myself. But if you have Aquarius in your chart, that's basically what the deal is. And the archangel that rules over Aquarius. So I'm talking about this because, again, we have the sun and the moon, new moon, going into Aquarius. The moon will go into Aquarius right on Saturday at 1:29 p.m. and then boom, right after 3:53 p.m. Saturday, we're in Aquarius, new moon. So the I haven't talked about the archangels in a while. So the archangel that is associated with Aquarius is Uriel. And you guys might have heard me talk about this in other broadcasts, but Uriel was said to be the archangel that sort of carries a light. He or she is usually associated with some kind of lightning bolt, or I don't know, some kind of light lantern or something. And Archangel Uriel is really, really good for, this is a beautiful card. You know what to do, right? This is Uriel's card. See how he has a lantern? And by the way, I'm using gender, but actually archangels are genderless. It's said they're sort of a they them situation. And so Archangel Uriel is all about brilliant idea, you know what to do. So if you don't know what to do in your life, right? If you're kind of stuck, or you're feeling like, you know, in the dark in some way, or uninspired, Archangel Uriel is a wonderful archangel to pray to, or meditate to, or think about, because it is said that he or she lights the pathway and illuminates our future, and illuminates where we're headed and what we're doing. So that's kind of a fun thing if you want to pray or meditate to the vibration of Archangel Uriel. And also, if you're going to be working on any kind of manifestation during this particular new moon, of course, garnet is a beautiful stone that's associated with Aquarius, usually with February Aquarians, just to let you know, a garnet is beautiful. Another stone, and I wore this tonight on purpose, is labradorite. This is my ring from Opulenza, which is a jewelry line that I represent. So I do sell jewelry from them. I can put a link when I hang up from the broadcast. But if you can see, I'm kind of moving it. People sometimes mistake labradorite for mood rings, but if you think about Uriel, and if you think about the energy and the vibration of Aquarius, so if you have any pieces of jewelry, you don't have to have jewelry, you can have like a stone or whatever of it. It helps to be able to see the different ways. You see how it's like, it's all different kind of colors, based sort of on, it's like a blue, a green, a gray, a black. It has all that different sort of illumination. And so if you're kind of stuck and you don't know what to do, and you need to think outside the box, and you need to think of different solutions, or you need to think differently in some way, labradorite, I wear this a lot with my sessions because I feel that it helps me to see different angles that are maybe different from what my client is seeing or feeling. Like sometimes, we get stuck in the energy and then we can't see outside of that. And so labradorite also connects us. It does connect us to the angelic realm or other like Palladian sort of, kind of vibrations. So if you are looking to this is one of my favorite stones that I wear a lot of it. Now, you might be thinking, I brought this one out for tonight because I thought it would be good to talk about. If you guys have been watching my broadcast for a while, and I know a lot of you have, I hardly ever talk about clear stones. If you notice that, I don't really discuss clear crystals, and there's a reason for that. And so I have a clear crystal tonight to show. It's like the Mac Daddy of crystals that I thought would be a really cool vibrational energy, especially since we're talking about Aquarius. Okay. This clear quartz. God, I love this stone. I could just sit with it. Like I used to hold it like a baby. I would just sit with it, just kind of like it, and it gets really, even though it's big, it gets really hot. It's kind of cool. Clear quartz amplifies wherever you are, whatever you're doing. So, if you want to amplify, like if you're in meditation, or if you're wanting to connect to the other side, whether it's the angelic realm or the spirit realm or some other thing, if you're looking to amplify your thoughts, if you're looking to amplify whatever it is you're doing, clear quartz is your definitely. But if you're like in a boardroom where you're hashing out a bunch of stuff, I would definitely say, yeah, it kind of is. It's sort of like there's a little point down here. It's not a big one. It kind of like trails off, but it's just so beautiful. Somebody asked if it was double terminated. It kind of, sort of. But if you are, in other words, if you're going to be around difficult energy, clear quartz is not really what you want to have. That's why I talk about this it's like, this is great to meditate with and great, but use caution with it. Like, I have heard people talk about how they get drunk or high while they're using their crystals. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Because you're opening yourself up. And especially if you're inebriated, or if you even if you had a few cocktails, you're not clear. So basically, oh yes, Holly, there you go. It's like the Jupiter of crystals. That's exactly right. So you guys have been watching me for a while. Jupiter amplifies, right? It makes things bigger. That's exactly right. Clear crystal is exactly what that is. Now, again, I'm using it. I'm sober. I'm here. I'm connected to you guys. I'm working with this. This is a great way to use quartz crystal. But again, it can be an amplifier. So you just want to be cautious with clear quartz. But it is a wonderful stone. I mean, Jesus, it's beautiful and wonderful, but it's a little cautionary tale of you want to make sure that you use it respectfully and carefully. Oh, Lindsay, hello, welcome. Beautiful stone you hold in the palm of your hand when you're meditating. Yes, that's exactly right. Labradorite is wonderful. So when we do our when we are connecting in, because this is going to be a big new moon, and then we have another wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing next week when we have the sun is going to form a sextile with Jupiter. So do you see what I'm talking about? How this Jupiter Pluto square is getting activated? If you think about this week, what's happening? The sun is conjuncting Pluto. Next week, what's happening? The sun is going to form a sextile with Jupiter. Now, the sun sextile Jupiter part next week on Tuesday is the peak of that at 8:30 p.m. on the 24th, January 24th. That's friggin' beautiful. Okay, that's like go play the lottery that day. That's like a good transit on that day. But do you see how they're starting to get highlighted by the planets, Jupiter and Pluto, Jupiter and Pluto? So it's starting to get activated. The square's starting to kind of come into formation. It's, again, the peak of it's not until May between Jupiter and Pluto, but it is starting, you know. so next week we have like kind of a good 1-2 going on with this new moon, and then we have the sun sextile Jupiter, and both of those things are very wonderful. Now you want to make sure that you write out your new moon manifestation list. You want to write all the things you want. I always write it like a thank you letter, like thank you for bringing me, you know, whatever it is that I'm trying to manifest. And so you want to put it under your pillow, sleep with it for 2 weeks, and then burn or destroy the list on the full moon. One time I was back before COVID when I was doing a workshop with people. This woman came up to me and she goes, you know, I've tried and tried. I keep trying to manifest, and I keep writing out all my manifestations on the full moon, and they don't come in. And I'm like, because you're supposed to get rid of things on the full moon, not manifest new things. So think, if you get confused about that, think new is new moon. You're planting new seeds. You're bringing in new wonderful things into your life. And the full moon is releasing and letting go. Technically, up until Saturday of this week, we're still in the let go department. So you don't want to do anything until really then. And by the way, that's good anyway. Give Mercury retrograde time to get up and going. Get this sun conjunct Pluto in the rear view mirror. So Saturday, I've been talking about how, like, you know how like it's like, you know, new year, new you, and you write out, you know, like you write out what you want to do this year, make a vision board or make a vision journal. You can do that as well. Vision scrapbook. You want to wait and do that on Saturday or after. Okay. So, and again, just to remind you guys, it's going to be at 1 degree Aquarius. So if you're born right around this time, this is 1 degree Aquarius. Rita said, yeah, definitely going to light your abundance candle on the new moon. Yes, exactly. This is the time to really begin starting new things. When I was saying hold back, hold back, hold back before, now it'll be go time, especially at this new moon or after. And then I'm going to do a whole separate broadcast about the Chinese New Year, probably next week, just because there's so much to fit in this week. But I am going to touch on Sunday of next week, of this next Sunday coming up on the 22nd, January 22nd, 2023. And that's when Uranus goes direct. So we have Mercury going direct. We have Uranus going direct. Uranus has been retrograde since August 24th, and it's been in Taurus. It's still in Taurus. It's going to continue to be in Taurus. It's been in Taurus. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018 and will continue to be in Taurus until 2025. So we have a few more years of Uranus and Taurus, but it's going direct, which is good, at 5:59 p.m., so almost 6 p.m. on Sunday night Eastern time, 3 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, and that'll be another good thing. And so Uranus has just been Uranus is really the Saturn-Uranus square that's happened in the last couple of years has really, I feel, been very, very responsible for a lot of the shortages and the Bitcoin crashing and cryptocurrency going down the, you know, tubes and whatever else. This Uranus thing has been a lot. So now, whenever Uranus gets activated, we have to say, sometimes we hear about earthquakes or tsunamis or whatever, you know, stuff happening. In fact, the last time I said that on my broadcast, which I don't remember when that was, I should write these things down, but whenever I said that the last time, I think it was like a month ago, Vermont had an earthquake that week, and it was very interesting because my whole house shook, and people were, I wrote on my personal page, about how it was like shaking, and they said it was an unconfirmed 3.2 in Vermont earthquake. So that was kind of crazy. And so here's the other thing, one bit about Pluto that I want to add in there too. I'm bouncing around with planets, and I apologize. I know I move fast sometimes. But with Pluto, this Lord of the Underworld situation, Pluto, and maybe next time I'll have to write myself a note, but maybe next time I'll include the map of the United States. It's right off the West Coast, and it's right off of California. And this Sun conjunct Pluto is not going to be good for California, because that is right off that West Coast. Now, the good news is, after this releases, maybe, hopefully, it's possible that the storms sort of calm down just a little bit in California. But I've been talking about Pluto being off the West Coast for a while now. Drought and fires and earthquakes and floods and what you name it, that can be Pluto. I mean, right there, that line is going to be right off of that. So, it's kind of yucky. So I'm sorry for those who live in California and going through all that. It's just so much. So we can hopefully say some prayers for them. All right. So just to recap, and then I'm going to ask some questions. So if anybody has any questions, start typing now, and I'm going to do the recap. I can only pick 1 or 2 questions, and I just do what my spirit and my guardians guide me to pick. So, I hope that that helps. So, just to recap, we have Mercury turning direct this week on Wednesday. On Friday, we have the start of Aquarius season, yay! And the sun will be in the astrological sign in Aquarius, all the way up until when is it? 18th, February 18th, when it starts Pisces season. And then we have this beautiful new moon, super new moon. So it's going to be very close to the earth, and we're going to be feeling it. And so we will have the super new moon in Aquarius on Saturday. We have Uranus turning direct on Sunday, and we have the Chinese New Year, which is going to be the year of the rabbit. And I will do that broadcast next week, a full broadcast about the year of the rabbit and what that means for you in Chinese astrology. And then, of course, we can't forget that the sun conjunct Pluto also on Wednesday. I forgot to say that. So there's a lot this week. And whenever there's a lot, even though it's a mix of positive and sort of challenging, I have noticed and observed just when we get a deluge of energies and there's a lot in the atmosphere, it feels like a lot. And sometimes people get stressed because of that. It just produces some anxiety or some personal stressors. So hang in there. It's not all rough news, thankfully. It's a mixture of some good and some not so good. So yay. Okay. New moon on your descendant. Oh, that's really wonderful. Ready for a relationship. That's cool. Awesome to hear, Kelly. That's amazing. Let's see. Wendy asked if I'll be live on the 22nd. I'm trying to do this on Mondays again. I haven't gotten myself into a good time with it. But oh, so let's see. So, let me see here. I missed a couple. Whoops. Andrea said advice for Sarah. Okay, she asked about her job interview. So she has a big job interview. Yay! Make sure you go and like my YouTube channel if you haven't subscribed yet. And let's see here. What do we need to know? Ooh, there's a lot of energy with this. You guys, if you use cards at home, I always tell people practice with cards at home if you have any. If you're noticing while you're shuffling, they're like jumping, they're kind of like, that means there's a lot of energy and a lot of activity with that question. So make sure, Sarah, you calm yourself, okay? Because there could be a little bit of anxiety with this. Okay, stay true to yourself. Okay, Sarah, stay true to yourself. And I am using Doreen Virtue's Archangel Gabriel cards. Stay true to yourself. I'll read the message for your job interview. Don't compromise or water down your ideas. Listen to, trust and follow your inner voice. This is about listening to your intuition and your gut instinct. Okay, so definitely stay true to yourself. Okay, so if they're like, hey, work Saturdays and weekends and holidays and 24 hours a day, and you might not want to do that, stay true to yourself. Okay, and then let's see. Wendy asked, should I put my business to bed and get a part-time job instead? She was trying to compose poetry here. She didn't even know it. And by the way, when people ask questions, I always there's a lot of times it answers questions that you might be thinking, or you know, so just to let you know, that it will give you, and you know, not only if you're asking the question, but if you're listening as well, sometimes the advice gives you. Okay. Oh, job review, Andrea said. Same thing. Stay true to yourself. Stay true to yourself. You know, be authentic, not unkind, just be authentic. That's the message. Okay, Hans. Hello, Hans. Okay, so Wendy, should you put your business to bed and get a part-time job instead? That was what Wendy asked. So Wendy, you're not doing enough, my dear. I'm sorry, and you might be banging your head against the wall. Hopefully not literally, but I just feel you're very, very frustrated, and I am hitting my my third eye here, but I feel like you're very frustrated, almost like what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I don't know if you've gone online yet, Wendy, or if you're posting on, if you have an Etsy store or whatever it is, but it's saying to have faith. Okay, first of all, Wendy, about your business, that, and then it's saying there's rules and regulations cards. So there's something that maybe you have to do to make it more legitimate. Maybe you need to do an LLC, or maybe you need to do a website, or maybe you need to do so in some way, like kind of like this is the rules and regulations. So you have to kind of do something with your rules and regulations. But you get the Magician card. So here's the thing with the Magician card, and this is, my cards are a mixture of astrology, numerology, and tarot all in one. So even in the classical tarot deck, the Magician is one of my favorite cards. It means you have everything you need. You have everything you need, Wendy, to do this business. You have the tools, the knowledge, the education, all this stuff. You just have to do it. And so I feel though like I get this huge hit that in some way there's untapped potential here, whether it's a website, whether it's Etsy, whether it's something that you can, there's other layers that you can do. And I feel like it's like online. Now with Aquarius, with us being in Aquarius season, remember it's the inventor revolutionary season, we can think outside the box and we can go a little different. So I feel like you need to be online or do more. I don't know. I just kind of feel like as if, okay, so you're actually too busy. She wants to slow down. I feel like as if though you can make this rules and regulations. Look, rules and regulations could be, means that you have to hire somebody. Like there's a more official thing that you have to do. And I kind of feel like as if I still get a big hit on online. I don't know. I just keep feeling like as if that's something that you need to do. Let me ask if you take a part-time job, what that would look like for you. Oh, honey, you're going to hate that. The Grim Reaper. You know, that's grace under pressure. This just means you need to have grace under pressure. Like, I mean, by the way, rules and regulations can also mean that you need to say no, you know, or maybe you need to trim the fat. Like, I just feel like as if for some reason there's an online component that is untapped. So I feel like as if you need to make business hours or set up a schedule or a container. In other words, you have to kind of, you have to say no sometimes, or you have to say, I'm booked out for 4 months. You can order this now, but I'm booked out for 4 months, whatever it is that you want to do, but that's going to be a thing. So I hope that helps. Oh, she said, I hate authority. Well, honey, you got to hear that big 2-letter word, N-O. It's very hard for us to say. So I hope that helps. Kelly asked the question, and I believe it's Kelly's birthday. So, I'm going to do her, and then I'm going to pull a collective card, one card, that is for us collectively. What do we need to know about the week? But Kelly wanted to know about her love life, and I lost the question, but I remembered it. So let me see what's going on in Kelly's love life. What does she need to know? What does Kelly need to know? I believe it's her birthday. I think it was her birthday. I don't know, but let's see. What does Kelly need to know? Ooh, girl, you have crickets chirping. What does she need to know? But it's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, you have, even though crickets were chirping, you have energy around you with it. You got to get out there. You got to socialize. You got to, kind of. It's interesting. Did you have, Kelly, did you have an on, off, or it was like it's like an in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out person that was like kind of hovering around, and like sort of like you were holding space, or you were holding out for that person in some way, shape, or form, Kelly? I don't know if you're even on still. But I kind of get this feeling. By the way, you guys can send me stars. I just found out that I can get stars, which is like almost like a tip or something. You don't have to do it, but it's kind of fun. You can send some stars. I think it's like a penny. But it's fun. So anyway, Kelly, I feel like there's been this in and out person. Either they're long distance, or they've just like kind of come in and out over periods of time in life. And I sort of feel like as if that person tied you up in some way or held space in some way. And I don't want you to get sidetracked from that person. I don't want you to because I feel like as if there could be another one that's like more available and more like able to be there, like looking for somebody like you. Yeah. See, you're getting try again and you will succeed. And that one just flew out. That was a fly out. This card is the scepter card. The kings, queens, knights got a scepter, received a scepter for a job well done. It was like a battle was fought, but then it was a job well done. So I feel like with this scepter card, I kind of get the sense, Kelly, and she's not, I don't know if she's even still on because she didn't reply, but I kind of get the feeling that you have at times given up. And I feel like this is saying, don't give up. Keep trying, keep trying. You have to keep going. You have to keep going. So I hope that helps. And I hope it's a good birthday. If that was your birthday, I can't remember if it was or not. Lindsay said, I love it when cards fly out. Yeah, we had a fly out. So I always say the universe picked it for us. So I am going to pull a collective card. What do we need to know about all this energy, the new moon, Mercury going direct, and even that Pluto conjunction coming up? What do we need to know this week to navigate our week, to be able to go forward and to really flourish and shine? What's the best thing that we can do? Best bit of advice? Oh, hello from heaven. Ooh, that makes a lot of sense actually to me. This is a beautiful card. And this again is a Doreen Virtue card, Archangels. This is Archangel Azrael. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. Some of you watching this broadcast tonight, or even if it's pre-recorded, maybe have a loved one that's deceased that has been trying to come through, or you've been thinking about a lot lately. And also know that you have a spirit team. We all have spirit teams, okay? Every single one of us, I call it a spirit team. That's when our grandmother and our grandfather and whoever else is, that's deceased on the other side, mom or dad, or, partner, husband or wife, whichever it is, whoever's on the other side, you know, a lot of times we feel alone here because we feel like they're over there somewhere, or maybe we don't even believe that. And we start to lose sight of the fact that they're always with us, even if we don't believe that there's anything on the other side. Hello from heaven. That I feel like our loved ones are always with us, and it's our spirit team. And when I say spirit, I don't mean ghost. I mean spirit. I mean, they're crossed over, they're fully formed, they're wonderful, they're on the other side. A ghost is a separate situation. That's what I call spirit, is somebody that's looking out for us, you know, traveling with us and helping us out. And just know that on the other side, we're never alone. We're never alone. And so with this Pluto, Hades, Lord of the Underworld and all that, sometimes we can feel alone. Sometimes we feel lonely in our fight or our battle that we're having on this earthly plane. And really, this is saying that we're never alone. This angel is looking out for us, and many others are as well. It's beautiful. And I am a physical medium, and I often get feelings about spirit all the time being with me. And when it's it's very crowded. It's way more crowded than what we realize. And so when spirit is with us, we will sometimes hear them, we'll smell them, we'll feel them. It depends on how they come. And most deceased loved ones have a calling card, or a way that they come in. I call it a calling card, but it's kind of like a way that they come in to visit with us. And so everybody's different. And usually it's how they were in life in some way. If they had a certain perfume or cologne, or a way of being, if they knocked on doors or they did different things. I mean, there's all kinds of things and ways that that spirit comes to us. So we might be getting some visitations, because there's a lot of downloads and a lot of portals open right now. So with this new moon coming and everything else. So hope that helps you guys. If you are interested in having a personalized astrological session, and you want to know more about it, being a psychic medium, a physical medium, means I see, feel, hear, and see things. And so basically that's what that's like. So you can head over to GretchenHeidel.com and check out my readings, my private sessions. And of course, I'm going to be coming on and off intermittently. My goal for 2023 is to do more videos. And like I said, I'm going to do YouTube specific content. So if you haven't done that, go over and like my channel as well. All right, everybody. Love to you all. Namaste. Happy new moon and happy Aquarius season. I'll talk to you guys later.